Wakey,
wakey, eggs and bakey.
We already filmed the intro to this, and then the battery died.
But it's okay, because we were accidentally shooting in 60 frames per second before, because...
Apparently my other video is shot in 60 frames per second, too.
It's cool, it just looked like the news.
Yeah, the news. It is news.
It is! Breaking news! Burr, 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 burr.
That was good! Well done! So, thank you for being on our channel.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me as a guest Monte.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, I don't know what the order of videos is, but I have recently announced that I am having top surgery.
Yes.
And
that one I think would likely come before this one.
Yes, I've figured that one out.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
Otherwise it'll be confusing.
That would be funny. So, I kind of want to talk about what the experience was like for you as somebody who has just had top surgery, is now in kind of the reverse role of being a supporter of somebody, and your concerns regarding like my gene and some of like the health things that kind of come with me.
So like you saw in the last video, I was really I just didn't want to not take the cancer gene seriously. I didn't want to sweep it under the rug or hope for... I didn't want to be hopeful. I wanted to be sure, you know? So I didn't want to like hope that having this kind of surgery would probably be okay. I wanted to like know. I wanted to have it signed off. I wanted everyone, like different parties, to be aware of what was going on. That way if there was any red flags, someone could speak up and be like, hey, this is actually a bad idea. Because I just remember I got the... A weird thing about top surgery, if you go to Garamoni, is he gives you a letter afterwards that says, like, you don't have to use it, especially if you don't identify this way, but, like, if I ever wanted to use this letter, I could. It says, like, Ash is officially, like, gone through the male operation, even though it's just top surgery, and he has had the irreversible operation to, that makes his, like, switching from the female gender to the male gender official and like valid. So if I ever wanted to like
change your gender marker,
change my gender marker, I could give them this letter that says I'm a male now. Which I think is funny. But the reason I'm talking about this is because there was the word in that letter was the word irreversible. We've had the irreversible surgery. And so we're doing something irreversible. Anything irreversible scares me. We're doing something irreversible to this little bean, and I just didn't know if that would mess anything up for any, like, future kind of, like, standard of care double mastectomies for cancer, you know? Like, the procedure for, like, a double mastectomy for cancer reasons is different than, like...
top surgery.
Yeah, like a top surgery. And since what Garamoni did was irreversible, could you, like, I don't know, it was just, I was paranoid, I was really worried. I didn't want to mess anything up. And so I was really adamant that you needed to tell your oncologist what was happening. And you were really scared too, because I think you were scared of getting a yellow light or a red light rather than the green light. But I was like, hey, your life's not worth it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, I'm glad that we did it the way we did now, but at the time, it was super scary for me because, like, it's like dangling hope. You're like...
Well... That's why I was so afraid to ask Garamoni what would happen during pregnancy, because I was afraid of a yellow light. I was so afraid that your boobs could grow back, and we have not ruled out me getting pregnant, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, like, I didn't want to learn that my boobs could grow back. So I was afraid to ask the question.
Yeah.
But I had to, because that would be so dumb to just be like, well, I'm going to get pregnant and hope my boobs don't grow back, and then what if my boobs grow back? Not, like, totally grow back, but what if they, like... reverse, you know, hormones? I don't know. It turns out that's not real at all.
Yeah.
Your boobs don't grow back, but I was afraid...
See the other video regarding that.
Yeah. And I don't totally obviously mean, like, fully grown back. I just mean, like, what if they got, like, a little, like, I don't know, hormone enlarged? I was unsure.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
And so I was afraid to ask the question because I didn't want him to give me an answer I didn't like. You were afraid to ask your oncologist because you didn't want to get an answer you didn't like.
Yeah. But in the end, I'm really, really happy that I did. But it was also scary because there was, like, no... At least I couldn't find any real resources regarding, especially my gene, which is the PALB2. I couldn't really find any resources regarding that, about, like, what the procedure, like, what's the correct way to go about it. And while we were at the Philly Trans Wellness Conference, I actually talked to someone who has a breast cancer gene and then had gotten like sculpting implants to shape. I don't remember their pronouns, so I'm just going to use they them pronouns. To shape the chest in a way that is more masculine. So,
because they got the, like, standard of care mastectomy to get rid of not 95% of the breast tissue, but 100%.
Yeah.
And that kind of leaves some, like, divots, some, like, inversion.
They cut into the muscle, even, like, some.
Yeah, so it's not like a flat chest, it's sometimes a little bit of a dipped chest.
Yeah.
And so they got implants to fill the dip.
And that was hard for me because I was like, oh, I don't know, like, if that's the way my chest is supposed to look. Like, I look at Ash's chest and I'm like, that's the way it should look. Like, just be flat. Like, I don't want it necessarily to be like
big, like, buff pecs.
Yeah, that's just not my aesthetic. Whatever, but, like, and some people's it is, and that's all good.
Right.
But for me, I was like, oh, that's, I don't know if, like, this is affirming or, you know.
But then you met someone else who also had a breast cancer gene and just had, like, a very typical top surgery.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh my gosh, maybe this means that that's also for me.
Yeah. So we decided, after a lot of conversations, we decided that we were at least going to explore it. And that if it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. And, but what was the process like for you, like, as I was stressed out and, like, nervous and scared and...
They wanted it so bad. They wanted it so bad. Like, I cannot describe to you how desperately they wanted this to work out. And as soon as, it's like, as soon as they got it in their mind that it could be a possibility, then it was like pedal to the metal. Like, now I can't wait. Like, I think they repressed it and pushed it back so hard and for so long. Like, oh, well, I have to wait till I'm 30. That's what these doctors keep telling me. I don't really, I just have to wait till I'm 30. I have to wait till I'm 30. So there's no point in thinking about it. No point in thinking about it. And then as soon as we we switched gears and went to, like, well, maybe we can kind of think about it. Then it was like, we gotta do it. I let myself think about it a little bit, and now, like, I need to do it, and I want to do it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. And
Dr. Mayo, you view me tomorrow.
Kind of, they kept making jokes about how, like, if for some reason I couldn't do it, they would switch with me on the table when we were down. And I think, I mean, obviously they were jokes, but I definitely think a part of them was like, I could be doing this today and I'd be so happy. And,
yeah.
like, so it turned into, like, they allowed themselves to think about it, and then it turned almost from, like, a wanting to do it to, like, a needing to do it, and, like, so it's been stressful for them. And for me a little, because if anything negative happened, it was, like, very personal and very stressful and, like, kind of devastating. So if, like, I don't know, they're worried about just a ton of different factors, like, there was a small snafu with the phone consultation, and there was, like, they just kind of worried about, like, well, how do I get time off for work, and, like, and who's gonna watch me, and everything was stressful, because it was, you kind of turned into me. You kind of turned into a little negative Nancy. You're like, what if it doesn't work out? What if they forgot about me? And
to be fair, they didn't call me. Remember we made that joke earlier in the day? They're like, what if they just don't call?
Yeah, I know, and then they didn't. Yeah.
And how emotional was it?
You cried a ton.
Yeah. What was the call like when I think I got off the phone with my oncologist after she said that she didn't have any concerns. Do you remember getting that call?
Yeah, you were, like, ecstatic. You've been, and then, so yeah, you're like a little, you're highs and lows. So
it's a little bit of a roller coaster for you?
Yeah, anything that's good that happens, like, you're like, oh my gosh, my mom is the best! And you're like, it's so amazing! And then you're like, and then I just got off the phone with Garamoni and I picked a date! Mm-hmm. And you're like, my oncologist says it's a go! And then you're like, so it's just, you can just by, like, how intense the emotions are, you can tell how important this is. But so that being said, I just want to make it clear that even though there's a lot of emotions, I hope you can tell that none of this is, like, dictated by emotional impulse. Like, we're still, like, the surgery is in January.
Yeah, it's not like I scheduled it for, like,
and we scheduled it in August, so that's, like, half a year.
Yeah.
So it's not, and we could have scheduled it for, like,
yeah, I think they said that they had an opening in this month.
Yeah.
Like, in September.
Yeah, but we, like, purposefully chose to do it in 19.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's with the oncologist, and we made sure to have conversations with him.
And that was like a 3-week long process before I even called Garamoni to schedule a phone consultation, and then that was so there's been like a lot of waiting. Yeah.
No, there's been a ton of waiting, and we made sure to like have conversations with family before, like, you know, we were in Florida doing it. We just wanted to like tell the people that mattered to us like what was up. So everything has been slow and methodical, just really emotional.
Yeah, very emotional. Sorry.
No, that's okay, because I am emotion.
Yeah.
Typically. It's just new for you to be emotion.
How do you think you're gonna feel as a caretaker, like being like you've been through it?
Well, since this video is already 11 minutes long, should we make it another video?
Sure.
Okay.
Sorry. Splish, splash, waterfall, give it a about.